Thanks so much for waking up with us. We're going to get to your top stories of the day coming up in just a few minutes. But first, let's get to Chris Mulcahy on what's going to be a very hot day today.
Very, very hot indeed. Feeling like 100 to 105 degrees around the Charlotte area. Our actual air temperatures in the lower to the mid-90s, so that just really proves how it's going to feel today. That air you can wear, the hair you can't wear, as I like to say. A closer look at those heat indices across the area. You can see it feels much, much hotter the further east you go. Feeling like 106, 107 around Shira and Rockingham. That's why those areas are under a heat advisory. Your 10-day temperature trend is going to be on a downward slope after the next 3 days. By this weekend, your Labor Day weekend, it's actually feeling more like the lower to the mid 80s, so a nice break from the heat and a fall hint to look forward to.
Sounds good, Chris. Well, I guess we'll take it. Turning to your big stories of the day in your morning rush. Gyms, playgrounds, even museums will be back open soon. Governor Cooper announcing that North Carolina moving into phase 2.5. It's part of what he's calling a dimmer switch approach. The new phase starts at 5 on Friday. CMS working on a plan to get students back into in-person learning by the middle of the month. Right now, 3 proposals would bring kids back on a rotating schedule based on grade level or need. District leaders say the numbers are about right for getting kids back in the classroom as far as the COVID-19 numbers. Getting the schools prepared is what's holding them up. A preschool in Rowan County is trying to contain a COVID-19 outbreak. 3 children and 4 staff members have tested positive at St. Peter's Lutheran Church preschool in Salisbury. The North Carolina Health Department is also reporting a second COVID-19 death linked to a child care center. They have not said which location or who died. UNC Charlotte reporting cases of COVID-19 before classes even start. The university says 8 students living together off campus have tested positive. We're told that these students were isolated and that they have since recovered. Across North Carolina, though, more than 3,000 college students have tested positive for COVID-19. Another Panthers player placed on the COVID-19 reserve list. This means that lineman Chris Reed either tested positive for COVID-19 or has been exposed to someone who has the virus. Reed is Carolina's second player to be placed on the list, joining defensive back Derek Thomas, who was added to that list on Sunday. The Panthers' first game is scheduled for next Sunday at home. Time to connect the dots where we make the news make sense. Allergy and flu season just around the corner. Doctors urging parents to be on the lookout for symptoms even more so than usual. Here's Ben with.
It's perhaps the biggest question facing parents this fall. Does my kid have just a routine runny nose and fever, or is it coronavirus? Let's connect the dots. First things first, doctors say it's going to be hard to tell them apart. That is because, according to the CDC, the most common symptoms for kids are cough and fever. So what are doctors telling parents? Something you've probably heard before. You know your child better than anyone. If your kid always has allergies in the fall, then it makes sense they're going to have a runny nose. But if you see something unusual, a high fever, unusual stomach trouble, even a rash, call your doctor for advice. Doctors say now is the time to play it safe. Don't send your kid to class if they're showing any symptoms, even if you think it's nothing serious. And that is connecting the dots.
Now to some stories to keep you and your family safe and sound today. Do you need an Uber? Well, you may have to send a selfie first. Since May, the company has required drivers to send a selfie of themselves with a mask before picking people up. But now they're requiring the same thing for passengers who've previously been reported for not wearing a mask. The feature will roll out, we're told, later this month. Do you want to help end the pandemic? Of course you do. Well, here's the thing. You got to stop talking. I know I should take my own advice. Experts say while masks are extremely helpful in stopping the spread of COVID-19, germs can in fact still get out when we talk and sing with the masks on. So the more we stay quiet while in public, the fewer people get sick. And that totally makes sense. It's going to be hard for someone like me and someone like Chris. But hey. Make sure you watch us, Wake Up Charlotte, each and every weekday morning starting at 4:30 on Wake Up Charlotte.